would you rather see the hit coming or not? Jay said he'd rather see it coming so he could brace for it. I say I'd rather not know because I'd rather die the hero. How about you?
Well, yeah, good morning, guys. I mean, it depends on the hit because, I mean, I'm, of course, looking at it from a defensive perspective.
You're a hitter too.
So, I mean, is Chris, is he carrying the ball? Do I have to tackle him? Because I don't know if I want that, even though if I would see it coming. But those blindside hits, it's over quick. So, I mean, it doesn't matter what size the player is either because I remember being blindsided by a receiver like Eric Moulds of the Buffalo Bills, and it was one of the hardest hits I ever took. I just didn't see it coming on a toss play to the defensive right, and boom, I just see this flash. I'm on the ground, and I'm bouncing up, and the wind's knocked out of me, and I'm still running. So, I mean, that happens fast, and it's over fast, so it's almost like maybe I don't want to see it coming.
So, Teddy, your corners didn't give you a crack call? What happened?
That's what I'm talking about. No crack, no heads up, nothing like that because the crack came down and it was blindside. And back then, the refs didn't even care. I was just on the ground.
See, but TB, you got hit by a wide receiver, somebody a little bit, I'm sure, thinner than what you were at the time. I'm looking at CeCe, man. Like, and I remember watching you on the field too. Like, I ain't trying to be hit by y'all. Y'all are next level adults. You know what I mean? I look like Kevin Hart next to both y'all in y'all prime. I don't want that.
Yeah, if a quarterback has got his back to someone like Chris Canty and he's coming, that's something you don't want.
Mm-mm. No, that's when you wonder what happened to the daylight. Anyway, Teddy, let me ask you a New England-based question because you know this is coming as the Niners make the move up to number 3, and you know. Everybody in Boston's waiting to see if Jimmy G can come back to New England. So, I mean, does it feel like inevitable at some point that's going to happen no matter what they're saying in San Francisco? He's our quarterback. They didn't add the 4 now, but we believe it's 4 now if you're drafting somebody to play quarterback at number 3. You know, can you see him being reunited with Bill Belichick back in New England at some point?
Yeah. I don't know when that point would be. Is it next year? I don't know if it's this year because after hearing what they're saying in San Francisco about the price being right. So translation of the price being right, meaning you better come strong because he's a quarterback and he's better than he was when you gave him to us because he took us to a Super Bowl. And so now is it a first-round pick? Is it something like that? And it goes against everything that Bill Belichick is, in my opinion, if you were to overpay a price for a quarterback that doesn't have durability. So, I mean, he preaches about staying on the field and being consistent and doing it every week. And Garoppolo hasn't proven that he has been durable. He has a lot of injury history in the past. So to give up a high price for a player like that, I don't see New England doing and them waiting for the right opportunity, maybe if it's next year or to when the price goes down, because obviously what San Francisco did, they didn't trade up to get, and no offense to me and you, Chris, a D lineman or a linebacker. They traded up there to get a quarterback, and eventually Jimmy Garoppolo is not going to be a San Francisco 49er.
So, Teddy, everybody's speculating on who exactly is Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch targeting, and they were at Mac Jones's pro day yesterday, and we made a big deal out of them not being at Justin Fields' pro day. So, in your mind, who is the quarterback that they should be looking at with the 3rd overall pick?
Isn't that just the smokescreen that these teams throw nowadays? I mean, let's not go to a certain pro day. We can't make it there. I mean, then let's throw more interest on another player. But if I were to choose between Mac Jones or Fields, I mean, it's Fields all day. Truthfully, I mean, Fields, his ceiling is so high. I mean, his toughness is off the charts. I think he's just scratching the surface in terms of the amount of games that he played in high school and also at the college level. I mean, if he were to have one more year as a starter, I mean, then he'd be looked at as even a higher prospect. So I think Fields is the one that can also be that quarterback in the National Football League in terms of the defenses are pretty good. We all know that. There's going to be that play that's called in the huddle that just breaks down and it's no longer that play anymore. And then all of a sudden, it's going to become Justin Fields' play, that secondary reaction to that play, the 3rd-level reaction of that play if he has to run, if he has to scramble and he has to run. He has all of those elements to him. He showed that at his pro day with his athletic ability and his speed. Mac Jones. I mean, he's going to play a decade in the NFL. I guarantee that. He's smart. He'll figure it out. But what's the decade of? I mean, is it a starter or is it a backup? He can fulfill any type of role, but he'll be a solid player. I just don't know if he has the potential to be what Justin Fields can be.
So those players are trying to solidify themselves in the draft. Let's talk about a player, a QB that is solidified in the NFL for the Green Bay Packers. What do you think about this whole situation between him and the team as it relates to his contract situation being at a standstill right now at this juncture of the year?
Well, so we're talking about Aaron Rodgers now?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I mean, this is not good if you're a Green Bay Packer fan and see Aaron Rodgers because, I mean, they're not dummies up there in the Green Bay organization. It's like you want this quarterback locked in for as long as you possibly can. And I think the only reason that he wasn't extended or his contract was solidified in some way is that it's his choice. And I don't understand about them not understanding the mentality that Aaron Rodgers is. Okay, you go ahead and draft a quarterback with the first-round pick. How do you think I'm going to feel? And I will never forget this. I mean, you could just see it. I mean, this is the type of competitor these alpha-like quarterbacks are. I will never forget how you wronged me. I mean, Tom Brady still remembers things like that. Drew Brees, these type of quarterbacks are like, they have memories like elephants, okay? And they know about who's on their side and who's not. So I want control. Quarterbacks nowadays in the NFL have so much power. I mean, it's your choice. You want to be here or not, and you can get your ticket out of town. So many quarterbacks have shown that. Maybe Aaron Rodgers is getting there now. It's like in terms of contractual situations, I'm setting myself up for a year to where I can be free and then make my choice whenever I want to. If I'm a Packer fan, I'm not happy because that's now the speculation, and it's obvious because of, I mean, they got their quarterback with the first-round pick, and you still have a quarterback that's thinking about maybe it's going to be somewhere else where I finish my career.
Teddy, great to talk to you. We appreciate it, and I love the insight on the idea of getting hit. And your perspective, of course, was, yeah, it's over quick, and I kept running. People need to understand the difference between an NFL player.
You bounce that quickly off the ground sometimes, guys. You do.
That one will stay with me for a while. Appreciate it as always. Thank you, Teddy.
Thanks, T.
Thanks, guys.
You got it. Teddy Bruschi on the Goodyear Hotline. Brought to you by Goodyear, celebrating March Deal Days with month-long service and savings. Visit GoodyearAutoservice.com for offers. So bet with rings on his fingers, and he's looking around him thinking, I can't win with these dudes. That's literally what you're hearing. So maybe there's something to it. Then again, maybe not. 30 seconds after Windy said what he said on the Hoop Collective podcast, Nick Friedel, who covers the Warriors, said this.
He's going to sign, whether he signs. I actually had this argument with our boy Timmy B the other day, guys. Timmy B is like, he may not sign. He may not sign. Come on, look at that team. There's no way that Steph, who has only ever said he wants to stay with the Warriors his whole career, and who has only ever said, I can't wait to play with Clay again, it's going to be great, and Draymond's still rolling through either the end of his prime or towards that other stage at a different point in his career, that Steph is suddenly going to walk away. Steph is going to sign that big money extension at some point.
So never mind.
I don't know about that. I mean, I think both things can be true. I think Steph Curry can sign the extension this summer, but I think there's also the possibility that we see Steph Curry finish his career in a different uniform. When that happens, I don't know. But as far as the situation with the Golden State Warriors, I can understand his frustration. They've been doing a lot of losing the last couple of years, right? Now, you would attribute a lot of that to injuries, but as this core continues to age, I don't know how they get that part drastically turned around and in the right direction to the point where they're competing for championships, especially in the Western Conference. So I don't think it's crazy to think that Steph Curry could potentially be on the move at some point in the next couple of years.
I don't think it's crazy at all. And I'll say this. I want Steph Curry to do whatever Steph Curry feels like he needs to do for his legacy.
He's earned that.
Like he's earned that. Like I don't care if that's at Golden State. I don't care if that people want him to go back home to Charlotte where he was, he raised and spent time there and played for Jordan. I don't care if that's with the Lakers. This is a new dimension that we're seeing in the NBA. If star players want to go team up with other star players, I will